started out with Fairport Convention in the 60s, and he's been hailed as one of the top guitarists of all time. Richard Thompson's joining us on Breakfast later on.
It feels all wrong. Richard's been just a little bit of music in the background. We're not going to tell you to stop. You can carry on if you like.
OK, I don't want to interrupt anything serious.
It's so nice.
Oh,
look at that.
Isn't it? First really came to public attention when you joined Fairport Convention, and since then won Ivor Novello Award for songwriting, had songs covered by Robert Plant, Elvis Costello, hailed by Rolling Stone magazine as one of the top 20 guitarists of all time.
Yes, Richard has just released his 40th album, joining us now, and we saw him tinkering just a moment ago, but we'll see you in action properly now. Have a look.
Oh, oh really? Properly?
It's broken free. You want to fly high. Mess on me where I know you've got a secret or two. Your hair's in a brand new do, and you're so happy. Good things happen to bad people. Good things happen to bad people. But only early in the morning.
It is early.
There's coffee there if you want to wet your whistle.
It's going to take more than coffee.
Tea.
Tea, exactly.
And a biscuit.
And a biscuit.
And the reason you were wearing shorts in that clip we saw there is because you were recording in Nashville.
Nashville is about 197 degrees. It's a very, very warm place in the summer. Yeah, that was at Buddy Miller's house, which is he uses the downstairs as a studio, and he lives upstairs, and it's sort of wonderful creative chaos, you know.
But you must have that kind of setup, don't you? I mean, music is absolutely your life, isn't it? We were just saying when you came in that sometimes to see a musician like you without your guitar, you said you described it as feeling naked.
It's true, yeah. I don't have that at home. I don't have the space.
Right.
You know, I live in Los Angeles, where the rents are a bit higher, and my studio is I think 6 by 8. Which is hard to get the whole band in a 6 by 8 studio. It's sort of monastic cell type studio.
But houses where there is kind of enormous musical creativity, that reminds me of when you joined Fairport, because it was in a house called Fairport.
That's true.
That you got together with your fellow musicians and started making this extraordinary sound.
Back in 67 we started, and you know, we had the use of this big house to rehearse in, which was great, called Fairport, up in Muswell Hill in London, and we took it from there.
And Richard, if someone says chicken plucking to me, I'm thinking of feathers and birds, but that is am I right in thinking that's a guitar technique?
Chicken picking, yeah.
Chicken picking.
It's a sort of a Nashville thing, you know. It's
Can you show us? What is it?
It's like that kind of thing. I do a sort of variation. I do this kind of. You know,
the speed of your hands are working there. And
it
tell me,
confused even the cameraman.
People are always fascinated by the learning process. So, are you still learning about how to play the guitar better?
Absolutely, every day I learn something. Yes.
Do you practice? I mean, do you?
Absolutely. If you stop learning as a musician, then you're basically dead, or you're going backwards. You have to see music as an exploration, as an exciting journey that you're taking, and. You know, I'm always trying to learn more about harmony. You know, and you know, there's a lot of places to go. You know, Stravinsky, Shostakovich.
Well, I'm just wondering who you learn from now. I mean, who inspires you?
I listen to a lot of classical music these days.
You?
Yeah, I listen outside of my genre. You know, opera and classical music. Just because it's harmonically interesting to me, and there's great dissonance, in 20th century classical music that I can, add to the guitar, I can add to my playing as a sort of another tool, another edge.
Loving the beret.
Loving the beret. It's that Che Guevara thing's just coming back, isn't it?
Is it a kind of calling card of yours? Because you're often seen wearing a beret.
Often seen wearing a beret, and sometimes seen not wearing a beret. Yes.
Controversially.
Yes, controversially and strangely.
When you don't want to be recognised. I mentioned earlier on the programme, Billy Connolly said you were the man who Well, gave folk music a kick up the backside.
At the backside. Well, somebody had to, I suppose. Well, it wasn't just me. That's very kind of him. I just saw him a couple of weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a New Year. Yeah.
You had New Year's with Billy Connolly?
Well, yeah, I think so. I
That
think
Did he sing along?
That must be some New Year.
it was quite something.
Did he sing along? Because he can sing.
It didn't go. Oh, he's a great musician. He's a really good banjo player. It didn't get very musical, but it was an interesting trip to the fish and chip shops, which I'll tell you another time.
We've got a minute. You can tell us now.
Well, you know, he's probably the most famous person in Scotland, and at some point we said, well, let's go get some fish and chips. About 10 of us, you know, and this is about 5 p.m. So it was quiet in the fish and chip shop, and then people started to trickle in, and they sort of do that double take thing, you know, when they see Billy sitting in the corner, and we nearly didn't get out, you know, because as soon as the first person had gone up and said, "Could I have a picture with you? You know, could you sign my?" Then everybody in the chip shop had to do it as well.
And you never get your chips.
And it took about half an hour to get out of the place, but it was fascinating.
Play a little bit for us, just while we say goodbye to our viewers
we'll
this
do.
morning. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Just listen to that one.
We'll leave you with Richard's music, and of course we'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
His band, the Electric Trio, begin their tour on the 20th of February. Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing.
Next